Do you have a brilliant startup idea but are stuck in the launching phase? Are you feeling overwhelmed by funding, marketing, or just where to start? Don't let your startup idea stay grounded. Visit our website at eapla.com to schedule a Blue Couch meeting and launch your startup journey today.
Well, welcome back to On The Cusp. I'm Dave Smith with the BRF, and back with me is my co-host, Matt Snyder.
We're back.
And heck, I think we're on season 7. And introduce our guest.
Man, I'm excited to bring one of my favorite business owners that I've met in the last year that I've really just enjoyed some time, Ricky Murov of Mattress Plus. Thanks for coming.
Glad to be here, really.
So,
seriously.
Ricky, what's your entrepreneurial story?
Well, I'm third generation family business here in Shreveport. My grandfather started around 1900 with New York furniture. And through the years, we've evolved into, now I have a retail business, which is Mattress Plus. But in addition to that, what's really not seen by the public as much is a business that my father and my uncle, when they were partners and took it over from their father, it's called Furniture Rental Service. And we supply merchandise and furniture to the apartment industry, multifamily homes. Yeah.
It's a really cool business that people don't see.
No. Now, when you say
Right.
apartment industry, is it regional? Is it nationally?
Now, again, most of the national companies that you've heard of started just like us, small family business, and they expanded nationally in franchise, and we've kept it more regional. So to answer your question, yeah, we go anywhere from Texarkana to Monroe and north from down to Lake Charles. We had to expand Lake Charles a few years ago just to pick up some more business, and it's booming down there.
Yeah, they're building a lot down there.
You're in an iconic Shreveport building, too.
Yeah.
I love that building. He's on the corner of Ockley and Uri, the cool shopping center there, right across from AC Steer. And that was such a cool architectural corner.
It was, and the day was
is.
one of the Wiener Weiss designs. Unfortunately, it was lost to a fire about 20 years ago, and but I'm in the part that didn't burn.
Okay.
It was the Broadmoor drugstore originally, my building.
It's such a cool. I mean, just the shape of that building, and it's like if you talk about iconic buildings in Shreveport that I would see and be like, oh yeah, that's one for sure.
Yeah,
I mean, that corner has always kind of been. So I was just thinking as we were talking about all the businesses that you think are so strong and these great businesses, and I can't think of very many that have operated for 100+ years. I mean, how hard is that? Talk about the struggle of keeping a business and evolving as things change.
Yes, right.
I mean, I'm sure the furniture business is very different today than it was in 1900.
I think that my grandfather's first business was furniture and dry goods, okay? And then my father and his brother had that vision of supplying furniture to the apartment industry because that was in its infancy back in the 60s.
Gotcha.
And so they had the opportunity to sell the retail business and move into this rental business. And what's real popular nowadays is rent to own, but that didn't even exist back in the 60s. Rent to own actually was an offshoot of the furniture rental business.
And so they pivoted into that space, and then as the world's changed, you've grown into kind of making that work long term.
Sure, yeah. So they say once in retail, always in retail.
Right.
So we moved out of retail into rental, but then I've taken the opportunity to come back into retail with my mattress stores. Yeah.
And just from being around you, you love that side.
You know what? I like the furniture rental business. That's really what lured me back to Shreveport.
Really?
Yeah.
So where did your journey take you? We were talking about my journey. Where all did you go before you ended?
Well, I
ended
just
up back
ran
home?
away.
Oh, did you?
I ran off to the Northwest, Pacific Northwest, and just kind of was kicking around. And that's when my father had kind of sold the retail business. I grew up with 4 siblings, and none of us had any interest in going into the retail business for furniture. And then when I heard, well, he's doing this rental business now, I'll come back and check it out. And I never left.
Oh. So how long have you been back in Shreveport running the businesses?
And since around 1977. Yeah.
So, okay, let's just talk about that period of time then, because that's amazing. I mean,
well, let me tell you,
how much changed. I mean, just think of the world from 1977 to now.
Sure. Well, in 1977, the furniture rental business was fun in Shreveport. Yeah, I almost felt like I was Shreveport's welcome wagon, because I was seeing all kinds of people moving into town, getting apartments. And because they were going to be here either a year or 2 years.
So what was moving them to Shreveport at that time?
The Med Center was one big draw, certainly was. Yeah.
So this is late 70s, early 80s.
Racetrack was another draw, and that was seasonal. So right.
Did you get much business out of Barksdale?
We did, sure. Yes, certainly.
So the 80s big influx of people into town. So you really have seen over the years when the ebb and flow of population growth and decline.
Right. And a lot of it revolves around oil and gas industry. That's a major industry here. So there was a time when, every young, straight out of college kid was a landman, and he was getting an apartment and buying a new car and a boat, and
right. Yeah. It's happened a couple times in that 40-year journey of it.
And he gets his apartment and there's no furniture in it.
That's right. That's
okay.
That's exactly right.
Yeah, so you see the ebbs and flows of population. So we always have the conversation on here, Dave and I, about what drives the city or our area. Is it jobs or having better culture? And we kind of battle back and forth this.
Yeah.
So what
I'm
brings
the jobs
people
guy.
to
I believe,
town?
if we recruit, a big company into here with 1,000 jobs, everything lifts up.
It's a balance. That's a good question. It's a balance. Yeah. I see. I hear people say Shreveport is good because it's a smaller town and you don't have the hustle bustle of a big city, but you're close to a Dallas, you're fairly close to a New Orleans or a Baton Rouge,
right?
And it's a pretty city also. People come here and say, "Ooh, I've never seen a city with so many trees before."
I don't know if I'm getting old or what.
Yeah.
But I am starting to notice that more. Like
green
just driving,
space.
like just how. One, maybe it's we talk about it a lot, but like how easy it is to get around.
Yes.
And how beautiful your drives can be.
Yes.
Like you're not driving, like you go to Dallas and everywhere is 30 minutes on an interstate and I'm stressed and I'm gripping the wheel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm
Is that
pedaling
my
through-
exit? Can I make it? Am I in the right lane?
Right.
Okay.
I was in Houston. I went to meet a
battle.
group. I was working,
Rat race.
and they told me it was at Topgolf. I got Topgolf in my Waze. I went there. I get there and I walk in and I can't find them. They're like, I call them. They're like, "Did you go to the Topgolf here? I was 45 minutes away." I mean, I'm driving. In Shreveport, you can get.
You do not
anywhere.
have that problem.
No.
Like I said, I went to Bossier the other day to a meeting. I gave myself 20 minutes. And I even took I-20 under construction.
Yeah.
I just planned it to where I was not in the middle of lunchtime.
Yes.
All right? Made it in 20 minutes, no problem. And coming from DC, that's pretty good.
Yeah,
where
and
nobody
Ricky-
gets any place.
In
quick.
Ricky's business and in any business where you're delivering or you're going to jobs or any of that, that's unbelievable. We started working on this turf company, me and a friend of mine, and we went over to Dallas and we worked with their crews for 3 days.
Okay.
And we followed them from job to job.
Yeah.
Each 8-hour day, I calculated we drove 3 hours.
Oh, no.
So out of the 8 hours those guys were working,
you had
they were
5
in their
hours.
trucks for 3 of them. So they were only working 5.
Yeah.
Well, when we're doing jobs, the guys are in their truck maybe 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Or 30 minutes the
30
whole
minutes.
day from picking.
Yeah, 15
My
there.
delivery
50.
people are in the truck for 3 hours driving, but they end up in Lake Charles doing business down,
Right. Yeah.
Right.
You're covering the whole region.
Yeah, you get the region.
You
on
could
that.
deliver mattresses all over town, and they've been in the truck for 3 hours. Those guys are doing one job.
God.
Now, how many Mattress Plus stores do you have?
I have 2. I
have
have
2.
one here in Shreveport and one in Ruston.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that see a lot of volume out of that?
I see. It helps to have two stores. Yeah, it certainly does.
It's a very interesting, as I've watched that company and learned it with you, that's a very interesting business because it tends to, it feels like it has operated the way it has for a long time.
That's nice. I feel like we found our niche. And
Yeah.
So I'm competing with some national chains. But I find them easy to compete against. But we have a niche, and it's
People
sort of
in Shreveport, maybe it's that small town thing.
Yeah.
They like to know who they're buying from.
Yeah, that's
they
true.
like to know
Yes.
the brand.
I think that's true anywhere.
You do?
Yeah.
I think that's important because you're fighting the mattress in the box.
Yes.
Or movement,
Yes.
the tube mattress or whatever.
Yes. Yeah. And I would say, that's probably more of a millennial customer.
It is.
Yes.
That's like the internet compete from a retail side. What has been the learning curve, or what are your thoughts on just having to compete with the internet?
I just kind of avoided it, to tell you
You
the
just kind of
truth.
ignore it. Yeah. Do your thing. And
Right, that's right. My uncle, he always said, don't do what the other guys are doing. Make them do what you're doing.
Oh yeah, that's
Yeah,
good.
it is a good one. That is a good saying.
So I think when you look at, and I'm gonna drag you down a route for
Go.
a second.
All right.
I think when you look at a business like a mattress store,
Yeah.
it's real easy to be like, you order some mattresses, you advertise, you sell the mattresses out the door, whatever.
Yeah.
And that's definitely what I avoid. Ricky is not that. You're always looking for, let's talk about this mattress and the process of the mattress you're bringing from Asia.
Right. Latex.
What is it? Latex.
Sure.
Tell this story, because this is amazing to me, that like
Okay.
really running the business.
Right. So before I went into the mattress retail business, I was selling my used furniture, because after you rent furniture for such a while, at some point you got to get rid of it.
Right.
So we were selling used furniture, and I had a salesman say, if you're selling used mattresses, you sure should be able to sell new mattresses. And I went, no kidding. So I went to market, and I'm shopping all the brands, and I go into brand A, and they show me their whole lineup from A to Z, from $200 to $2,000, and then I go to brand B, and the same thing, and always that $2,000 mattress had a layer of latex in the top of it, and it felt so good. And God, there's something to this latex. Something really must be great about it. Mm-hmm. So at that point, somewhere in that 1980s, is when a real major brand mattress came onto the scene, an all foam mattress, and the people in the industry went, this was like an overnight success story of this brand, and so there were people in the industry that said, hey, if the consumer is ready for an all foam mattress, then they're ready for an all latex mattress. And when I heard that, I was like first in line. And latex is unbelievably just a super material to sleep
Right.
on.
And it's lighter, isn't it?
It's not lighter. No, it's
No,
not. But
it's not.
But latex is rubber.
Right.
All right. Foam is oil.
Right.
Okay. So the way that foam works is you lay on it and it sinks down, and unless it's a very good quality, it's going to basically bottom out. When it bottoms out, you might as well be on the floor. And then you're going to end up tossing and turning because you have nothing giving you comfort. You lie there for a while and your arm starts going to sleep, so you toss over to the other side until it falls asleep, and that's back and forth all night long. Latex is rubber. It doesn't bottom out. It's buoyant. It's always
Has its shape.
Yes. Yeah.
The cool thing about this latex story, though, is Ricky doesn't just go buy it from the guy with it. So he finds the farmer.
Yes.
So Ricky finds the guys in, where was this?
Thailand.
In Thailand,
Yeah.
that are growing the plant,
Yeah, that's it. Rubber trees.
growing rubber trees, and
Harvesting the sap and making it right there. And
start sourcing these big blocks
Yes.
of latex.
Yes.
So you can put them together and make any size you wanted.
Correct.
It's cool.
Yeah, it's like the old water beds. You unzip
Right.
it and you have a bladder of water in there. But now this is just going to be blocks of latex.
It's pretty cool.
Now, are you the only one doing this?
There's other places, yeah.
But not many. I mean, this
Not
is like
many.
a cutting edge
No.
type thing. I want Ricky.
Memory foam is so prevalent in the mattress industry that's it. And so,
So who's your primary customer when they come into the mattress store? What
Yeah.
are they?
that's
old guy
something
like
that Matt
me
and I
that-
are working on.
We talk about
Yeah.
that a lot. Yeah, like
I guess my target customer has been a more mature person that has the disposable income, and so now we're kind of targeting a younger customer that's
Young
bought the house,
professional,
bought the car.
Yeah.
Yeah, kids are a little older now, and it's time for them to start taking care of themselves and stop buying the mattress in a box that's shipped to your front door and go out and kick the tires and get a good mattress.
Oh,
yeah,
that's-
it's the mattress. It's fun to talk about the mattress evolution of a person.
Yeah. Mhm,
Like you basically go to college and you get some leftover mattress from somebody in your
That's
family.
correct.
Yeah.
You probably take
Yes.
that mattress or a mattress like it to your first house or so, and then you might buy the mattress in the box.
Yeah.
And then it's like-
you find a lot of customers, it's the first time they've ever bought a mattress. They've either always had a hand-me-down or, something like that.
Or it came with where they moved in.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I think that's like a real thing. Like
That
getting
is
somebody to
a
think,
life
like,
cycle of mattress procurement, and then you get like me, you're 64, and you're like, okay.
Then you go mattress shopping.
Yeah, then you go serious. Okay, I'm tired of this.
And those people
okay.
are in there like
Yeah.
feeling it. I mean, they spend some time on that.
Yeah.
How long do you think your average shopper spends before they buy the mattress? Hour and a half?
Yeah, an hour. Yeah,
At
easily.
least.
At least.
It is not a fast like.
No, it is not.
I promise you.
Yes.
I bought my last car.
Yeah.
In less time than probably any of your mattress sales in the last month.
I've heard
My last two,
I walked in, I was like, get it ready, I need to pick it up in
Well,
an
I
hour.
already knew it was on the lot, right?
Yeah.
And my wife, she just bought a new truck.
Yeah.
Okay. And she knew exactly what it was. She'd already called the place and
Yeah.
said, I'm going to come look at this truck, and if I like it, I've already got the financing.
It was
I'm
the
gonna buy
day, it was for my wife's birthday. It was the day of her birthday. I was like, hey, I'll buy it if you can have it ready in an hour.
Yeah.
I got there, he had a
Yeah.
red bow on
But
it. I was like, I don't have time for this bow. I need this car.
But that's interesting. That's all the way down to mattresses now. People know, they're going to do their research, and you
That's
can get to
yeah.
them.
Yeah.
Okay. They're going to buy it.
Yeah, I like a customer. I like
do
a customer that's
you
done
deliver
research.
them
Certainly.
as well?
Oh yeah.
Takes
oh, yeah.
your
oh,
old
yeah.
one out of there.
Oh yeah, I have the best delivery crew in the world.
They are awesome.
Second to none, worldwide. I promise you.
And they work directly for you. Because
Yeah,
the trend
yes.
now is to outsource your delivery.
No. My head delivery guy has been working with me for 40 years. You don't ever see that much.
The
No, you don't.
service, that is something you cannot get
No.
outside of a local business.
Now, what do you do
No.
so you take the old mattress when you
Sure.
leave, and what do you do with them?
Well, we either have to dispose of it, or I have churches that take them sometimes. There are cities where they recycle them, and that's a good thing. That's a good thing, but it's not going to happen here. It has to be a larger city.
Well, you've been doing this in Shreveport, 3 generations of your
Sure.
family been in this business.
Yeah.
What would you say is the biggest change you've seen in business? And I know that's a tough question.
Right.
But
Yeah.
that's
merger and acquisitions is and that happens everywhere. Though.
right. I just heard an interesting statistic. Last year, there were 42
Yeah.
acquisitions of existing multi-generation
Right.
businesses
Sure.
in Louisiana.
Yeah.
Yeah.
42.
Wow.
Only 2 of those stayed in Louisiana.
Mm-hmm.
That's scary.
Yeah, that's it.
That's an
Crazy
ugly number. Okay.
And a lot of family businesses threw in the towel after COVID or during COVID also.
Yeah, I think it's very admirable, and hopefully it is a trend or whatnot to the younger generation sticking with the business.
Yep.
I mean, I watched my family growing up had businesses in town, and then the next generation would change the business drastically and go into something different, whatever, and none of those businesses even exist to this day. You know, like, I think it's very interesting and very awesome that you like stuck to what the model was, went with what you had to do to keep it alive over that much time.
Yeah.
But stuck to the game plan.
Absolutely. And you did it in Shreveport.
Sure. Right.
Yeah, that's cool.
That's awesome.
Well, Ricky,
thank you, Ricky.
thanks for coming today.
It's been a joy. Thank
Yeah,
you.
we appreciate it.
Great.
That was awesome. Thanks.
Enjoy the podcast? We would love your feedback about today's show and who you think should be our next guest. Send us an email at info@eapla.com. Also, be sure to share the show and leave a comment on our social media post.